Hello, everybody. It's Shalita O'Neill, founder and CEO of Fostering Change Network and creator of the nonprofit Visionary Academy. I hope everybody had a wonderful Turkey Day and that you were able to spend time with your family, friends, those who were close to you. You relaxed a bit, slowed down a little bit, because we're always moving so quickly. We're always so busy. So it's really important when we get those moments to be able to slow down, spend time with people who we care about. So I hope you were able to do that. Hey, mommy. I'm going to, slow down a little bit so that people have an opportunity to join in today. And what we're going to be talking about is how to avoid pseudo professionals when you're looking to recruit consultants for your organization, right? Because you're going to need consultants when you first start your organization for different purposes. Hey, Justin. And feel free, guys, please share. Take a moment to share this if you know anybody else who might want to hear this, and this is for startup nonprofit organizations, but for nonprofit businesses, entrepreneur, whatever you're doing that you're going to be reaching out to other people to help you with, because you're not charged with knowing every single thing. You're not supposed to know everything there is to know about starting up whatever you're doing, or you're going to need somebody else's expertise at some point in time. So you want to make sure that you're recruiting the right people, that you're engaging the right people. So please share, guys. Please like it. Please like the video, and also share it with other people who might be blessed from the information I'm about to share. Okay. So again, we're going to talk about how do you avoid those people, because I've heard so many different stories from people that I've worked with, that are like, okay, I reached out to this person who said they could do a logo for me, and I haven't gotten the logo yet. I paid them the money already. And, that sort of thing should not be happening, right? There is a way to really vet people so that you don't get to a point where you've paid for something and you still don't have the finished product, whether it's a website, somebody's been working on your website for 3 years, you still don't have the website. And then when they actually reveal it to you, or they give you a draft of the logo you asked for, it's nothing like you want it. And it looks like your 4-year-old or somebody's 4-year-old could have done it. We want to avoid that, right? Because the market is saturated nowadays with people who say that they do different things, but they may do it on part-time, or they may play with it a little bit. It's a hobby or something that they like to do. They someday might want to do it, and so you're their guinea pig. We don't want to do that, all right? So let's get into it. I'm going to go over 8 different things so that things that you could be doing to make sure that you avoid this sort of situation. So the first thing is making sure that you have examples of their previous work. So it's not enough for you to, if you're, connected with somebody in the community, or you go to an event and someone's like, hey, check this person out. They referred, maybe you're going to church with them or something like that. Like, this person does a logo, this person does a website. You're like, oh, okay, great. I'm going to save a little bit of money. Listen, make sure that they have previous examples of their work that you can take a look at, right? To see if their style matches your style. So they should be able to provide that to you. And one of the ways that they should be able to provide this to you is through their website. So look at their marketing materials. Look at how they're marketing themselves. Go on their website. Do they have a website? So if you're working with somebody, or you're and reached out to somebody, and they're saying that they can do a logo for you, or they can do a website for you, or they can do something for you, but they don't have a website, or they don't have any sort of way. That's one way. You really want to be working with serious people. And of course, we all start at different points as professionals offering services, but if you really want to get on the right foot and build the foundation for your organization and make sure it's right the first time, and you're not spending unnecessary money on things that you don't need, you want to make sure that people are vetted. So they need to have a website, and you need to be able to look at it to be able to see what their style is like, and their other examples of the work that they do. Are you impressed with it? You know, does it move you? Or you're like, yeah, I could see, okay, yeah, they could do this for me. So make sure that you do that. Also, look at their business card. Okay, if they have a business card, number one, for what they say they're going to do for you. You know, many of us were jack of all trades. And so, you know, you meet somebody somewhere and they say, hey, here, give me a call. I could do a logo for you. And it's a roofing company card, business card that they're giving you. Okay, that's the sign. Look, the card needs to reflect that they do website design, creative design, or whatever it is that they said they're going to provide to you. Their marketing materials and how they are presenting themselves to the world should reflect what it is that they say they can do for you. Okay, so we got that down. Make sure that, you know, you see what kind of work that they're capable of doing first. Don't take people's word, or one or two people that say, oh, I know this person, I think they used to do this, I think they do that, and you take their word for it because you're trying to save a quick buck. Don't do that, right? You're going to pay for it later. The second thing I will say is make sure that you get references from them. So if they say that they do a website or logo design, or even if they say that they're going to help you, for instance, the things that I do, help you with strategic planning, or you know, help you with fundraising, first and foremost, you know, have they actually done the work, or have experience doing the work that you're asking them to help you with? You can't engage somebody to help you raise $500,000 that has never raised any money. Or engage someone about starting a nonprofit. They say they can help you, teach you about how to start a nonprofit, and they've never started a nonprofit, or they've never even worked at a nonprofit. So make sure that you're looking at that. But you want to, who are the people they've done work for, and call them. Pick up the phone, give them a call. You know, ask them. You know, check their references. Ask them. You know, were they satisfied with the work that this person did for them? You know, just as if, listen, you are hiring, in essence, someone on board with your organization when you are reaching out to a consultant. So you want to do the same sort of practices, ask for some of the same things that somebody would ask for a potential employee. So you're interviewing this person. So don't feel bad about that. Ask them for their references. And if they're a true professional and this is what they do, right, then they should be able to provide you with those references with no problem. So make sure you do that. Another thing I would say, the third thing, okay, is to ask for their capability statement. And you're like, what is that? What's a capability statement? So it's basically a resume for their business, which outlines the people that some of the customers or clients that they've had in the past, some of the things that they did, if they have any small business accreditations or any of that's listed there. Again, it's a resume for the business. It tell you, you know, a basic outline of what services they provide, who they've provided them for, that dates that they've provided them for, that sort of thing. So you can get an idea of what they've done, who they've worked with. And again, we're talking about making professionalism. So if you're investing your money to have somebody come in and provide a service to you, so you want to make sure that you're vetting them. Okay, and that's a sign of a professional. If you ask for a capability statement, they should be able to provide that to you, okay, right away. The fourth thing I would say is get everything in writing, y'all. Come on. I have talked to so many people who have said, oh, we just did a word of mouth thing. You know, they said they were going to do a logo for me. You know, they said they were going to give me, they were going to charge me this amount of money for it. I paid them for it, and I'm still waiting for the logo, or I'm still waiting for the website, or you blank place what you're still waiting for in the blank. Make sure that you have an agreement in writing that outlines what it is they're supposed to do for you, the timelines, how they're going to do it, and along with their fee or their rate. Okay, so make sure that you have that. That is so important. Y'all know I reference Judge Judy a lot, but for real, when you look at these judge shows, it's full of people who meant well, who, you know, just didn't follow through, but they've gotten money and the person wants their money back, and it gets ugly, it wastes your time. And quite frankly, if this person is a professional, that's what they're automatically going to send you anyway. They're going to say, okay, well, they get an idea of what it is that you need from them from an initial meeting. Some people do a free consultation, 30 minutes of, just finding out what it is that you need. And then the follow-up is, all right, based off of what you need, here's my proposal to you. So they should be giving you something in writing that says what they can do and how they're going to do it, and outline everything. If they do not give you something in writing, that is not a true professional. Point blank, period. Okay, you want to always make sure that you're covering yourself. Everything in writing, even if it's your friend, your cousin, especially if it's your cousin, make sure that you have everything in writing. Yes, so we want to do that. So next, the fifth thing I would say is that you should be able to give them your vision, and they should be able to make it come alive. This is that feeling. It's like that chemistry you get, when you connected with somebody and you're like, oh, they get me. Yes, that's the person that you want to work with. You need to sit down with somebody, and if you say, okay, I have this organization that's about saving the butterflies, or creating programs for whatever it is that you have in your mind that you haven't been able to sleep about, that keeps coming to you, and you're pulling it out, and as you're explaining it and talking about it to this person, when they give you the draft, it should click, right? It shouldn't be 3 or 4 revisions later and they still have missed the mark completely. Okay, so typically when the consultants sit down with you, even if it's I always go back to logos and websites because it's an easy parallel to draw. Typically they'll say, okay, as part of this package, you'll get 2 to 3 revisions of what I'm doing for you, whatever, and any additional revisions might cost a certain amount or whatever. But again, if you get to that 3rd revision and it's like, you said you want to save the butterflies and they got an elephant on your logo, then clearly the vetting process at that point, something went wrong. Okay. So just make sure that you're paying attention to that. Experts, people who do this, right? This is what they do, can capture what it is that you're giving them and create it in tangible sense, right? So take it out of your mind and bring it out into the world in a way that it makes sense and that it connects with your style and that it clicks with your vision. Okay, so know that. If somebody keep telling you, well, I can only do these 3 things, and if what you need can't fit into them 3 things, I can't do it for you. That's not somebody you want to work with. Okay, just put it out there. So the next one is, are they professional? Okay, so it's all great. You want to be able to connect with somebody that's going to be providing a service for you, because you're going to be working with them for a minute. So it's all great. But there should be an air of professionalism about this person. You set up a meeting with them. Are they on time? Are they running behind? Are they, okay, coming in all frazzled? Oh, thank you. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. No. Okay. They need to be on time for that initial consultation, for everything, actually. I mean, things come up. Don't get me wrong. Listen to me talking about time sometimes, y'all. But when you're talking about creating an initial impression with somebody, if they are late when they first meet you, that's going to be indicative of how they're going to be interacting with you along the whole time. So it's not just about, them being late, but it's also, are they prepared? I had... I'm trying to say it in a way so I don't give out nothing. But I had wasn't a couple of instances where I engaged consultants, and one person came super prepared. I mean, bam, they knew the outline, the agenda of what we were going to do, the materials that they had for me that they needed for to do the presentation was there. They asking the right questions, they're answering my questions, they're on point, and they're thorough. I feel like I'm getting what I need. And then I have another consultant that's like, oh, you know what, I forgot those documents that I was supposed to get to you. I was supposed to bring them, and I'm sorry. And then we had a certain amount of time allotted for that person. They took up a quarter of the time. We were sitting there looking at each other, like with something that should have taken the full amount of time, right? So look at how that person is presenting to you, and that free consultation that they give, especially if it's face to face. You can really get a sense of body language. How are they dressed? How are they, really, we have intuition about people, and we tend to ignore that. Don't ignore it. Okay, if you get a bad feeling about somebody who you're about to give your money to, then step away from it, right? So pay attention to how are they showing up professionally. Are they prepared? What do their materials look like? And okay, so would the right consultant add to the vision ideas that I may not have thought of, but actually like something we sort of create together? Exactly. Yes. So that's even better. A partnership, right? Because Justin, you asked that question. See, guys, you have a question, ask it. I'm going to answer it, okay? But yeah, co-creating is a beautiful, wonderful, inspirational thing. Yes, indeed. So it's not just a one-sided thing, but at the same token, if you're giving your vision and someone's like, I don't know how to make that happen, then you know that that's not the consultant. That's not the person you want to connect with, right? So co-creating together is wonderful. Yeah. When that happens. But initially, sometimes what happens is, the consultant will be asking clarifying questions around what your vision is and adding to it in that conversation, as well. So it's a give and take. But at the end of it, it should be your vision. You shouldn't come out of it like, okay, those are really great ideas, but it kind of overshadowed what it is that I wanted to do with my organization or what, my logo or whatever it is. So make sure it's still your vision. So co-creating is great. Thanks for the question, Justin. Yeah, so and also what I would say is make sure that they have professional materials to provide. So if they're sitting down with you, especially if it's around marketing, y'all, I love marketing. I love when people, branding, when people come out with, their different ideas and they can, visualize it or put it out there in a way that inspires people. I just love it, right? It says a lot about a person, from the colors that they use in their logo and their materials, to the pictures that they use, to like all of that coming together. It's a beautiful thing. Call me weird, but it's a beautiful thing. I love it. So the professional that you're dealing with should be bringing materials to the table that they have of their own. And so that's another way, like I said earlier, that you can see, okay, well, what is this person's personality, even through their materials? Is it a photocopied brochure? Or is it like a Vistaprint card that's made out of thin paper, right? And don't get me, I'm not being superficial here, y'all. There's a certain type of professional. Are you serious about your nonprofit? You're serious about taking it to the next level and making sure you're building a strong foundation so you can do your work. You have to be serious about the people that you're going to bring into your space to make this work, right? And to make this happen and to bring this dream to life. We're all at different points. That professional might be for somebody else, but they are not for you, okay? We're serious. No games, okay? So Vistaprint is great, and they have some great types of options of business cards that people can use. But if people come to you with a piece of paper laminated talking about let's do some work, I'm sorry, keep them moving, point blank. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. And the next thing I'll say is this all they do, right? And do they have a full-time job? Do they have other obligations? And if they do, that doesn't mean you shouldn't interact with them. It just means that you have to take that into consideration when you're looking at deadlines and when you're looking at, okay, well, what's the response time this person is going to give to me because they have other obligations, right? And I wear many hats. So as a consultant, but this is what I do, right? I do coaching with nonprofits. This is what I do now. I'm full-time. So, but there was a time when I had a full-time job and I was trying to do certain things, for other people along with that. So there, you have to take that into consideration, right? So somebody might, have other things on their plate that might influence how quickly they are able to get you deliverables. But what I will say is that professional should know that and make it clear to you in the beginning. So when you're establishing timelines, or when the consultant is saying, okay, this is what I can do for you in this amount of time, they're taking that into consideration. That, okay, I have a full-time job and I know I'm going to be doing this on the evenings or the weekends, or I have a part-time job, and or I have other things going on. I have 10, 15 other clients that I'm working with, and this is my timeline. So they should be realistic with you up front about that. So, just keep that in mind, that, if somebody says, okay, I'm going to give you this draft, in a week, and then 3-4 weeks go by and you don't hear anything, that's a problem, right? Whether they have a lot on their plate or whatever's going on, because there should be some sort of communication in between that. But just make sure you keep that in mind. People got a lot of things going on, but again, as a professional, they'll let you know what those things are, or at least let you know that there are other obligations that they have, and they will set their timeline accordingly. If that doesn't work for you, keep it moving, right, to the next consultant. So the last thing I'll say, unless anybody has any other questions, like I said, just type it. I can see, hey, Angela, hey, Hortensia, Mom is on here. I love you guys. Thank you for joining. Make sure you please take a moment to share this with people and like it if you haven't already. For those who, everybody's going to be engaging other people in their work. And so I want to make sure that they engage the right people so they get, the right results, or at least the results that they're looking for. So the last thing I'll say is make sure that you get 2 to 3 proposals. I would say 3, because I say the odd numbers break it up a bit. So if you need somebody to do your logo, you need somebody to do your website, or you need somebody to come in and do strategic planning for you, whatever it is, help you raise money, plan your event, whatever it is, make sure you get 2 to 3 referrals, or 2 to 3 proposals. So you want to vet people. You don't want to just go with the first person that somebody at church or somebody, from your fraternity or sorority, whatever, told you should go with just because they're friends with them. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you have 3 different proposals from people, 3 different options to look at, vet them, and you sit down with them, interviewing them. It's a free consultation, but you're in essence interviewing them to see what's the best choice for you. So, when doing that, you're going to be looking at price ranges, how are they presenting the proposal to you? You want it in writing. Again, agreements. Get 3 different agreements from 3 different consultants around the same work, right? What they're proposing to do for you. And then you can find out so many different things from that. You can find out, like, is their grammar right? First and foremost, people say they can write grants, so they can do things they can't barely write. Okay, that will come out in the written agreement. Are their prices a little bit exorbitant, or are they asking for too little? If you're paying someone $100 for a logo, you're going to get what you pay for. Okay, or $50 for a logo, you're going to get what you pay for. And I'm not saying you have to be super expensive about things, but you get what you pay for. We're talking about building strong foundation for organization and for people to take you seriously. And there's people that say, okay, you can go on Fiverr or whatever, pay $5 to get somebody, get a logo. Go ahead and do that if you like, okay? But if you really want to establish a brand and marketing that's going to be serious, that people are going to take seriously, that when people see it, they get a feeling from it, they have an experience from it, they want to support you, you have to invest in people. So when you're looking at those 3 different proposals, you can see what's the balanced amount. You don't want to just go with somebody just because they're cheap, or you don't want to go with somebody that's super, charging a lot of money, trying to get money out of you either. So make sure that it's balanced with those different choices. And again, as a nonprofit visionary, you want to make sure you're engaging your board. I'm going to say this in every video, I promise you, because your board is so important. You're not in this by yourself. So when it comes to trying to find consultants for different things, you want to go to your board. They should be connected. They should know, have ideas of people to reach out to make sure that you get good choices of the people that you want to bring in consultants to vet, right? So we're assuming they've already been a part of this process. They've given you, referrals or ideas of people to do different things. And then they're also going to be a part of vetting people. So they're going to want to see 3 different proposals. They're going to want to know you did your due diligence. You did, your research and your homework on people. and you bring it to them. Okay, so those are the things I would, if anybody had any questions, just go ahead and put it down in the link. If not, I'm just gonna recap on what I shared. Okay, so it's super important overall, guys, that the people that you are bringing into your space to bring your dream to life are who they say they are. And whether that's consultants, whether that's employees, whether that's volunteers, anybody, this is serious business. You know, the world, I will say this over and over again because it's that important. The world needs what you have, your dream, your vision. People are waiting for you. People's lives will be changed because of what you have to give. And you don't want a glitch with a consultant or a glitch with the wrong people or something logistical to get in the way of changing that life. So you want to position yourself in the best position possible to be successful. And one of those ways is to make sure you are engaging the right people. Okay? Because this is real. You don't want to cheat yourself. You don't want to try to cut corners and say, oh, I can get my cousin to do this for $25. You don't want to do that. Okay? Because what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. I cannot stress it enough. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a grant because they were impressed with how I kept my financial information, how it was presented to them, how I prepared for it. My marketing materials were well thought out. It looked like I had been around for 20 years and I had been around for 1. And they were impressed with that. It means something to people that are going to invest their time and their energy into you. And there's consultants out there, true professionals, that, you know, if you don't have your stuff together and you don't seem like you're coming to the table really taking this thing serious, they're not going to work with you. Right? So you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're only attracting people who are half-stepping because you half-stepping. Okay? So let's take this seriously. So make sure that the person can give you examples of at least 3 previous jobs or design, whatever they've done that they're saying that they can bring to the table and help you with. Make sure they have 3 examples of that. And those things should be on their website, right? Make sure they have a website. Make sure they have a business card that reflects what it is that they are saying that they're going to give to you or work with you around. Okay, so that's their credibility. Make sure they have that. Make sure you get at least 3 references from them, from people, previous clients of theirs, and call them. Have a short conversation with them. Ask them, you know, what their experience was, and that'll help you to determine whether or not you want to engage that consultant. Also, make sure they have a capabilities statement that, it's a resume for their business. They can tell you who they've worked with in the past. They should be able to email you that. Bam, looking good. You know what's going on. Make sure you get everything in writing. I cannot stress it enough. Writing. Put it in writing. And they should be the ones gathering information from the meeting with you and then putting the proposal together for you to look at and to consider. And if that is not something that come off their lips about something in writing, keep it moving. It needs to be in writing. You should also make sure with your vision that you're giving them your vision around, you know, how you want things to look, and they should be able to make that come to life. Like Justin said earlier, co-creating is a beautiful thing as well. Not to say they should sit there and be quiet, you know, while you're sharing your vision, but them contributing and asking clarifying questions to make sure that there's some things you may not have thought of or logistically can't really happen because it's in your head, but something else could sort of mold and shape it into what's still yours, and that is still work for you. So that's even better. If somebody's co-creating with you and give you an idea that you didn't even think of that fits in with your vision, or put a word to something you're thinking about, that's definitely somebody you want to consider. Also, are they professional? Are they showing up on time? How are they dressed? You know, you had, this is professional, okay? You had somebody coming with a cutoff shirt on with some jeans and, you know, open-toed shoes. Like, how can I help you with your logo? What you need? I need to brand you. No, we don't want that person, okay? Do they have marketing materials set up? Are they prepared for the meeting? Okay? Like, you want to make sure that the way they're presenting and the intuition, that connection, you know, if something tells you, thank you, but no thank you, go with it. Don't be like, oh, well, they're going to charge me 25 cents, so I'm just going to ignore that. We serious over here. Tell them thank you for your time. But no. Also, is it all that they do? Do they have other jobs? Do they have a lot of clients? Are they working full time in a different field? Not to say that you shouldn't engage them because of that, but you want to know that, because that's going to determine how fast they are able to respond to you, how quickly your work is going to get done with them. And also, that's something they should be upfront with you about. So make sure that you are aware of that with them. And then also make sure, and I see your question, Justin, I'm gonna get to you. Make sure you shop around three proposals from 3 different consultants around the same work, so that you can see who is the best fit for you. So you don't go with the first person that somebody suggests to you. So Justin asked, before I reach out to a consultant or set up a first meeting, besides the vision, what should I bring to the table? At a minimum financially, should I have a certain amount? Should I have a portfolio? And it's not, it cut it off. So for you, as the person engaging somebody to create your vision coming to the table, you just really need to bring your vision, of what it is that you need to do. Be very thorough about what it is that you're asking for. The money should not come up necessarily as the forefront. So for me, sitting down with someone, I'm gauging, as a consultant, I'm gauging what it is that they need from me. I've already done research on them, number one, before I go into the meeting, to see, what, especially if it's an organization that has a website or they're just getting started, whatever, or I ask them to send me information ahead of time, right? So when I sit down with them, I've already thought through a couple of things, but I'm really listening to them to see what it is that they need from me. And then I'm also in exchange telling them, how I can support based off of the information that they gave me. At that meeting, I don't say, okay, thanks for meeting with me, I need $150. In the first meeting, the information is gathered. They come back, develop a proposal for you, and then they come back, with, this is how much, based off of what you told me that you need from me, this is how much time I'm going to need to put into it, and this is how much my time is worth. And then you go from there. Jody, no worries, Jody. I didn't even see that. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Please make sure you guys are sharing it. Justin, did that answer? I hope that answered your question. It cut it off, but I'll take a look at it afterwards too, and make sure that I've answered it thoroughly, and I'll just reach back out to you to, if I didn't. But yeah, as a person engaging someone for support, you're engaging a consultant, they're coming with their market.